Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Central Kentucky Faces and Places podcast. My name is R.K. Cox. Thank you so much for spending some time with me, and hopefully you're enjoying the podcast so far. If you could, do me a favor, click the subscribe or like button, follow button, depending on which platform you're listening to. They all call it something different. It doesn't seem like a lot, but to me, it means everything. It lets me know that people are listening and support this and like kind of what they're hearing. Also, feel free to leave a review, good, bad, doesn't matter. Just shows support for the show and lets me know to keep on going with doing this. So now today's episode is a real estate photographer in the Central Kentucky area, and he has seen just about everything when it comes to beautiful horse farms, expensive houses, to some stuff's just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is about to hit the market. So here to share his experience with us is Mr. James Weatherholt, the owner of Pending Media.
Welcome to the Central Kentucky Faces and Places podcast.
All right, and we're rolling. I've got James Weatherholt here with me with Pending Media. James, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, RK. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. So, James, for everyone that's listening, James is a phenomenal. I know him from a real estate photographer. He's the owner of Pending Media here in Lexington area. James, so it's business has been good and everything like that, but let's kind of get down to the beginning. Where are you from the area? Kind of what's your story? How did you get into all this?
I'll tell you what, man. I'm actually from Louisville. I don't hold that against me. I grew up as a blue blood. Blue blood runs through my veins. So
good.
Even though I'm from Louisville, I'm straight UK fan. So
well, we got that out of the way. That's good.
Yeah. Wanted to start that out. So I came to Lexington for school. Yeah, so I came out here to go to UK, and I met my wife here at church there on campus at UK, and then I just kind of stuck around, met her. Her family's from here, so stuck around with her and grown a family since then.
That's awesome, man. And I've seen you guys on Facebook. It's an absolute, I mean, you all have a beautiful family. You got a large family like me too, so it's great to see.
It's growing as well.
Huh?
And it's growing. We've got one on the way.
Oh man, well, congratulations. That's awesome.
Absolutely, thank you.
Congrats. When's the new one due?
I think it'll be April.
April. Oh, so getting close. And what, if you don't mind me asking, what number is this?
Oh, so we've got 3 boys right now.
Oh,
there's 6, 5, and 2, and then we'll have this one.
Oh my gosh.
Hopefully it'll be a girl this time.
Man, I'm in.
We don't know yet though.
Same boat. I got 3 boys, and then I got a 2-year-old little girl, and if it's a girl, I always joke and tell people, I'm like, yeah, the boys they can go do whatever. All I care about is my little girl now. Yep. So she's got me tied up. So, well, congrats, man. I hope everything goes well with that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So has photography, it's not like, for what I know, I'm terrible with photography and stuff. I can't just go out and take pictures and everything's great. So is this something you had an interest in at a young age, or something you grew up with, or kind of what's the history on that?
Honestly, no. I kind of started this out of nowhere. So I was a realtor back in 2014. That's when I got my license. I was a realtor 2-3 years, something like that. I think I ended up getting out in 2017. So real estate was always kind of a passion of mine. Mm-hmm. I always loved being in the beautiful houses and seeing the character of the old houses, especially in this area. And eventually I realized that while I loved real estate, I wasn't really crazy about the sales aspect of like cold calling and pressuring, prospecting, constantly being on my phone because of clients calling me and stuff like that. And so I just kind of made the decision that selling real estate wasn't really what I wanted to do, but I always loved being in the houses. So I actually took my own photos when I sold my house, and I loved doing it. The first time I'd ever taken interior pictures or anything like that. I'd never picked up a camera other than my phone until probably 3 months before I started this business. So it was really kind of jump in there and do it. I've kind of found an online course that taught the ins and outs of the business and how to shoot and all that stuff. And once I did that, I jumped in and things took off from there, and it's just kind of been crazy since then.
Well, that's really impressive because, I've used you before, and then just seeing your stuff pops up on my social media all the time, and it's just you're fantastic at it, man. The photos and everything is just gorgeous. It does help that you've got beautiful houses to use around this
Yeah.
area, but man, it's. I mean, if you told me, yeah, I've been taking photos since I was 2 years old, and my mom and dad did the exact same thing. I mean, you could,
Nope.
because you do fantastic work. So
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, RK.
yeah, and so all right, so you photograph your own home when you sell it, and then you pick this up, you do the online course, you get everything going and stuff. So is it just kind of like, um, is it like I'm just gonna do this and see how it goes, or was it like
Yeah.
immediately I'm starting pending media, or kind of how did that go?
So I was kind of in a job that I'd hated. So I'd been involved in several businesses before I was in real estate,
Mm-hmm.
and then I had some issues with those businesses, and they kind of went out, and so I was kind of at a point where I had to get a job. So I took a couple sales jobs doing different things, working for others, and I hated it. I've never been much of an employee. I've always been a business minded person that wanted to do things on his own, and so I think this course popped up in my Facebook feed or something, and I just kind of took a risk and did it, and I wanted to see what it was like because I'd talked about it before. I'd actually recently just bought a camera because I was going to learn more about it.
Sure.
And right after I bought that camera, that popped up, and I took the course and learned everything that I could about real estate photography, and went out and did it. Shot houses for free. Reached out to all the realtors I had in my contact list already from being a realtor, and it just exploded because I was able to do things differently from a real estate aspect, because I wasn't a photographer. I was
Right.
able to know exactly what the pain points were of real estate agents when it comes to photography, and I focused on those things rather than just making sure the pictures look good.
That's really interesting. So yeah, you can go in there from your background of being a real estate agent.
Mm-hmm.
You can go in and say, all right, I know they're going to want to key on this. I know, I see that, and this room's kind of small. I need to make sure it looks bigger, and
Yep.
and kind of everything. I mean, that is kind of a nice background to have when you're going into something like that. It's kind of similar to people that are contractors and pick up a real estate license as well. They kind of know the ins and outs of repairs and stuff, but you've got it from the photography standpoint.
Exactly. So I knew, and even further from that, I knew some of the things that were complaints when it came to photographers or just photography in general, looking through Zillow pictures and things like that, like making sure toilet seats were down, making sure lights were on and blinds don't look crazy, and making sure there isn't dog toys in the pictures and things like that. And I knew I didn't want to be afraid to move things whenever that made the picture not look good. And I wanted to just make sure everything worked out perfectly for my client, because I wanted to be customer service minded first, and then quality second.
That's great. That's great. And it is those little things like the toilet seats and toys and all that stuff that when you look through the photos online, you're just like, why didn't they do that? Why didn't they move that? Why didn't they do this? That's a huge plus right there.
Absolutely.
So you go, I mean, you're just all Central Kentucky with it? Is that correct?
Yeah, pretty much. So I live in Harrodsburg.
Oh yeah.
And then I've got another photographer that works with me. He lives in Lexington, so we kind of just our service area is, if you're in a county that touches Mercer County or touches Fayette County, then you're probably in our service area. And a lot of times we go even further than that as well.
Well, your all scheduling is great because when I've used you, it is, I mean, it's like, I don't need it next day, but it's incredible to me that it's like, yeah, if you need us, if you're in the local area and you need us tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., more than likely it's like, yeah, we can figure it out and get it done. So it's
Exactly.
probably a really nice advantage, kind of being a little bit spread out, not terribly far, but a little bit to where you can kind of cover the areas quicker. So
Oh
that's
yeah.
awesome.
I find it hard to say no. Sometimes it's a bad thing on my part. So I think
Yeah.
couple weeks ago I was in Williamsburg and Dry Ridge and the
Oh my God.
Gorge and things like that. So I go far out quite a bit.
Yeah. If the schedule allows, I love it. I love it. Yeah. It's, that's a good knack when you're running your own business and stuff, is to be able to say no. It's
Yep,
so hard sometimes.
it is. But that's all right. It's got me where I'm at. So
Exactly. Well, I'm sure you guys have seen just some absolutely incredible places, and judging by the photos I see online and everything, it's like, wow, I cannot believe like how lucky you are to go. Gotta be exciting when you kind of look at a home and you're just like, I can't believe I get to go through every single room of this house and take pictures of it.
yeah, that's definitely my favorite part of this job is being able to see the beauty in this state and being able to go through some of these homes that I could never in a million years imagine owning, but
Right.
I get to walk through it and
Yeah,
take pictures of it, make it look even better.
that's awesome. Now, do you have a drone? You use drone photography as well, right?
Yeah, I do. So pretty much anything that a realtor would need, media wise, I do it. So we do anything from just regular photos to drone photos, video. We do Matterport 3D tours, um, virtual staging. I mean, you name it. If you need it as a realtor, we do it. So we're kind of a one-stop shop for the real estate agent.
Because it's when I see some of the farmhouses and stuff that you do and the
Mm-hmm.
footage, even just the videos are one thing, but just the incredible definition that you get on these farmhouses on the land and the landscape and the sky and stuff with those drone photos. I mean, it's stunning, man. It's like a magazine cover. So that's a really nice skill set to have is with that drone.
Oh yeah, I love to hear that. I appreciate it.
It's great. It's great. So, uh, do you all is it just real estate photos? I mean, I'm sure. Do you do? I'm sure you take some photos of your family that you keep to yourself and stuff. But I mean, do you? Is it just real estate? Is that all you guys are doing right now?
Yeah, so every once in a while I'll do a headshot for a realtor. But yeah, for the most part, if I like the things that I take pictures of to sit still and not move. So
Yeah.
if it moves, I don't like taking pictures of it. So it's okay when I'm shooting a headshot every once in a while because
Yeah.
a lot of times adults can stand still for a minute. But
Sure.
yeah, I have no hankering at all to do any wedding or portrait style
Oh, I
photography
can't
by any
imagine.
means.
We will be right back. You need something to take a birthday party to the next level? Or do you have an event coming up and need something for kids to do that's safe, fun, and clean? Then you need to reach out to Magical Inflatables today. They have everything you need from regular bounce castles, water slides, an elegant all-white bounce house, and even a massive pirate ship. Yep. So check them out on Facebook. Just search Magical Inflatables and it'll pop right up. Send a message and they usually respond within the hour. They use all natural cleaning products on all of their inflatables, deliver, set up, and take down. But the best part, they bring them in the morning and pick up in the evening. So that's right. No 2-hour time limits. You get to use it all day long. So days fill up really fast on their schedule. Contact them now. If you want to use the promo code podcast, you're going to get 10% off any inflatable rental. So once again, that's Magical Inflatables. Use the promo code podcast. Now back to the show. That is, and with having kids, man, those photographers that do the newborn photos and stuff, it's like,
Yep.
they've got the patience of a kindergarten teacher. Like I just couldn't imagine
Yeah,
just the patience they have is just absolutely incredible. So
exactly. Yeah,
so,
I let the other professionals deal with that.
yeah, that's their thing. We'll let them do that. We'll let them do that. So
It's like I have the technical ability to do those things, but I don't have the patience.
yeah,
And
I don't
yeah,
need,
pretty much it's the patience. That's the big thing that comes
that's
in.
the key. That's the key. Yeah, it is definitely a special skill set. So the patience part is.
Definitely.
So what is it? Is there anything in particular about kind of Central Kentucky, especially from your photography point of view? I mean, I'm sure you get to see some amazing landscapes and stuff like that. But is there, you know, you obviously love it here. You're from Louisville area and living here and stuff. So I mean, what is it so much that you just love about the area?
Yeah, I mean, being from Louisville, it's night and day difference between here and Louisville. And once I finally moved here, I realized that I do not like it in Louisville whatsoever. So I'm glad this is a Central Kentucky podcast because
Yeah.
it's definitely Central Kentucky and the big brother, her little brother over there in Louisville is a big difference for sure.
I love hearing you say that. I love hearing the little statement. So this is definitely a
Well,
pro Kentucky Wildcat podcast. So in
absolutely.
case anyone knows, uh, is there any favorite places that you've seen? Like Harrisburg is beautiful. That's awesome. You live
Mm-hmm.
down there. But is there just a place you've been to that you're like, wow, this is just an awesome place, or something where maybe people, if they've never been, it's like you've got to go check this place out.
So I've taken some pictures in the horse park. I mean, the
Mm-hmm.
horse park is really uh, just a wonderful place. It's got. I love seeing the fencing, the horse fences, and just the miles and miles of just this beautiful green grass with the horses running around through it too. I actually shot recently. It's so I don't know if you know this, but there's actually residences inside the horse
Mm-hmm.
park.
Yep.
So that was one of those actually just went up for sale a couple of weeks ago, and I was able to shoot that farm, and it was just absolutely beautiful. It's probably one of my favorite things to take part in so far. And it's like the house was nothing spectacular, but it was just the beauty of the landscape in that area was just wonderful. So really, it's just
Yeah.
all the farms in this area are just amazing, and that's what I love to shoot. I love to shoot a farm.
And that's, I tell people that are like relocating here would, it's, I tell people you could be in downtown Lexington, right in the middle of downtown, and drive basically 20
Mm.
minutes almost in any direction, and just be in beautiful farmland. And when they hear farmland, they think like crops and stuff, and I'm like, no, it's just open pastures for life. And the one comment, just to kind of go with what you're talking about, the one thing I hear from people that visit, whether it's family, friends, clients, whatever, is they're like, oh my gosh, the fencing, the horse fencing, just
I
for
love horse fencing.
miles. And I live in Georgetown, so that horse park, I go by it every day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something I always look at. I'm like, golly, it's just the fencing for miles and miles. It's so beautiful. It's so crazy to say fencing does, but it's just something about it that's just,
Yeah,
it's gorgeous. I love it. So,
especially in the Versailles area.
yeah.
If you're walking through the white fencing, that's the real
Yeah,
beauty. The black fencing looks good too, but just something about that miles and miles of the white fencing through those horse farms, it's crazy.
it is.
We have a lot of stuff like that in Harrodsburg too, and we got some. It's probably a little bit more of the crop farms and stuff like that than some of the other areas, but it's definitely got some beautiful landscapes down that way, especially towards the Shaker Village area and like Dana Brook Farms and stuff out there. There's just a lot to do in Central Kentucky.
There really is. And that Shakerville is this one of the best kept secrets in the area. It's gorgeous out there as well. I can't remember the restaurant that's in the middle of there.
I think it's just Shaker Village, isn't it?
It may be just called just Shaker Village. I haven't been in years and I need to go. But But that's a gorgeous area. And I just had a house listed a house months ago in Harrodsburg, and hadn't been in a while. That drive from Lexington, just this love. It
Yeah,
gets a little
68's
dangerous if you don't
beautiful.
know what you're doing, but
Hmm.
it's gorgeous
Yeah,
out there. And
that
then
was one of those
just
roads
the
where I was afraid
downtown.
of it until I lived here.
Yeah, now you probably whip around it like it's nothing. So,
Yeah.
but just the kind of old historic homes that are in the Harrodsburg area,
Hmm.
and that's something I guess you probably see it in your real estate photography as well. Is you get these awesome farmhouses and farmland, but then just the historic homes and stuff that you've got in these small towns, but also kind of in the Lexington area as well, like that Henry Clay area and stuff. It's just it's neat how they keep that old historic character, but they'll be fully renovated on the inside. So it's just when you walk in them, you're kind of transformed into a new age and stuff.
Yeah, I actually recently shot one in Ellesmere Park in Lexington.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that area, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically a 1800s mansion, and it's I know the guy that lives there. He was the realtor as well, and when he hired me out there, I was flabbergasted about how beautiful this place was, because they had bought it and fixed it up real nice, and actually did a twilight shoot out there, and they decided to decorate it for Halloween as well, and
Oh wow.
so that wound up getting a lot of likes and views and things like that. So that was pretty fun.
Yeah, it must be pretty awesome when edit them, of course, and stuff. And once you've got them just looking good to, for people that haven't seen your social media, need to be seeing your social media stuff. It's you only show like 4 or 5 photos, all the photos of the house or anything, but just the select ones that you
Right.
pick. Um, it's got to be a kind of a proud moment to be like, man, I'm glad I got to go do this, and look how great this looks. And so it's got to be pretty neat when you finally get to hit post on there to be like, gosh, I can't believe I got to do that and see that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. Me and my partner Steve, when we shoot, sometimes when we look in the camera, it's just like, man, that's a good one right there.
Yeah.
It's like it's so much easier when you just have a really nice house to shoot to make things look good.
Yeah, it definitely makes it probably a lot easier. So you've probably seen some stuff that you question too, where you're just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm in this place right now. How fast can I get out of here?
Yep. Oh, we had one of those yesterday.
we won't get too into those. We'll keep it
Yeah.
nice. But yeah, I've done that myself as an agent. And I'm sure you did when you were an agent. You're just like, I hope I get this listing, but it's okay if I don't.
Yeah. So do I even really want this one?
Exactly. Yeah, there's definitely some questionable stuff you see. So, well, is there any like promo codes or anything you want to share with anyone that's listening?
Yeah. So I figured I would end up doing a promo code to help out some of the listeners for you, because I'm
Yeah.
sure you have some other realtors that end
Oh,
up
we'll have
listening to this.
yeah.
So the promo code that I wanted to use, it's going to be it's called Faces. So just straight for you all, it's
Yeah.
FACES, and that's 50% off of your first shoot
Wow.
for anybody that uses that code. And then hopefully we can make a good relationship from there for
Man,
anybody that wants to use us.
so that just so when and just so people know, we can walk them through it real quick. First off, like your Instagram, and I'll put all this in the show notes as well, is just at pending_media.
Mm-hmm.
And if you just search pending media on Facebook, I mean, it pops right up. There's no hesitation. There's no confusion of what you're looking for. And then if you go to his website, www.pending-media.com, that's the best place for real estate agents listening, or even homeowners, if they just wanted to get some photos of their home. That's the easiest way. I mean, it doesn't take 5 minutes to get something scheduled. You just type in your address. The selection of what all you're wanting to get is easily accessible. It all makes perfect sense. And then I assume there's a promo code spot right before checkout.
Exactly. Yeah. Right before checkout, there'll be a promo code on there. And once you do that, you're able to book directly to my calendar, either mine or my partner Steve's, and then we'll get out there and do the shoot for you and hopefully get your house sold.
Yeah, and it's like I said, it's no one's ever used it before, it is the easiest website to navigate as well. Especially if you're sitting there with clients in the home, you could pull it up and look at the calendar and literally just do it all right there and show them, like, be like, hey, they're going to come here on this date at this time.
Yeah, I tell people that that's a great closing tool. Really, is you just have that here. So I can go ahead and get you scheduled for photos right here. And you don't even have to call me or text me. You know exactly what my schedule is, just straight from the
goes right to it. So Faces for 50% off. Faces is the promo code for 50% off your first shoot with James and Pending Media. So James, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for coming on here. And like I tell everybody, they need to be getting on your social media. If anything, just to check out the awesome photos that the homes that y'all get to take pictures of and stuff. It really is just absolutely. I appreciate you taking the time and coming on here today. So sorry, we kind of ended with some technical difficulties there at the end, but thank goodness that was at the end. Thanks again to James for joining me on the Central Kentucky Faces and Places podcast. I loved having him. He's a great resource for anyone looking to do any real estate photography on their homes. Any real estate agents listening to this, you should definitely give him a call. His work is second to none. Once again, please subscribe and follow the podcast. And if you'd like to be on the podcast, send me a message, shoot me an email, centralkyfacesandplaces@gmail.com. You can get me on Instagram, Facebook. All the information is in the show notes. So thank you for tuning in this week, and a new episode will be out next Friday. Thanks.